Alright everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about what the proportions are and how we use them. Okay, so proportions are basically represents two or more ratio that's equivalent, yeah. So, if you know about equivalent fractions, then you basically know about the proportions. Like basically, 1 divided 2 is equal to 5 divided by 10. This is actually the same amount, representing the same amount. The numbers are just different, but that doesn't matter at all. The numbers doesn't matter. The only thing matters is the ratio and the proportions between them. So, those are same equal fractions, and this is actually a proportion. Okay, so uh, let me check my notes too. So yeah, in order to two ratios be equivalent, it has to be like this. It has to be somehow equivalent. The numbers doesn't matter. So let's just start with the question. But first, like, why do we care about the proportions? Why are they so important? What is the use of the proportions? Well, proportions are really good for figuring out something we don't know from something we do know. That's the whole point actually. You know, so let's start with the question. So let's say there's a one student and he reads one book in 2 days. Okay, and he wants to know how many days does it take to read 23 books. So let's write our ratios. So the books to days is 1:2 ratio. So this is the books and this is the days. Okay, so he wants to know how many days does it take to read 23 books, and this is our unknown. So these are our three known values, and we have one unknown value, and we want to know what that is. We want to calculate it, basically. That's the whole math. Math is just for it, to calculate something and move on in our life. So we want to calculate how many days does it take to read 23 books according to this ratio. It has to be equal. Like proportions are this, like, they have to be equal to each other. So to calculate this, we use a technique called cross multiplying. Like we basically cross them like that, multiply them like crossing. So it's basically 1 multiplied by n equal to 23 multiplied by 2. So it is basically 46. So like in here, the 1 doesn't have any value for the multiplying, so it basically means only one n. So we can basically say this: the n is 46. So we can put it here, and we can say these students can read 23 books in 46 days according to this ratio. That's all. What do we hear is basically we use our three known values to figure out our one unknown values, which is the day number. And we found it. So that's just it, Perfect. Now, I'm going to solve another question. So, we have a map here. Okay, let's say map of Hawaii. And there's a Hilo, and there's a, what was the name of it? Let me check. Mauna Loa. Yeah, Mauna Loa. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, we want to find how many kilometers from Mauna Loa to Hilo. So, let's see what are the known values, So, for the map, there's a units ratio, yeah, right? And it says in the top of the map or in the bottom of the map, doesn't matter. It says 5 centimeter is equal to 9 kilometer. Okay, so it basically says that 5 centimeter in the map, it's equal to 9 kilometer in real life. So we want to find out what is the kilometer in real life. So we can basically measure the distance on the map with a ruler, with a ruler. So let's say it's 20 centimeter on the map. So we have 3 known values. So we can basically use the same technique that we did here to find the real measure in the map, in the world. So let's do it. So I'm writing the centimeter value on the top. That actually doesn't matter really. And then I write real life measure, and for the order ratio, what I know is 20 centimeter on the map. So this is the map centimeter I'm writing here, and this is the n. That stands for the unknown number. So perfect. So we can do the same thing, cross multiplying. So 5 multiplied by n is equal to 20 multiplied by 9. So it's basically, yeah, perfect. So our purpose on this equation is leave the n all alone so we can find what is 1n is equal. So we can basically divide them by 5 to make this alone, and 1n will be equal to 63. So that's basically our unknown number, and this is kilometer. So we basically figure out what the real measure from Mauna Loa to Hilo in real life by just measuring with a ruler on the map that shows us this ratio. That's just it. We just calculated. We just use the math for some good, for some good use. Yeah. That's just basically it. That's just basically what the proportions are and how we can use them to solve real life problems. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, that's it for the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.